Hello everyone, I'm glad to see all of you here today. As an account manager in Sellercloud, I receive weekly requests on how to read, export, and search for specific data in Sellercloud that can be used for reporting purposes. So today we're going to review the main reports that we have and in which situation they're going to be really useful and in which cases to use them. Before I start, a big part of the questions that I receive are related to inventory, the inventory management and the different type of inventory that we have and how it's calculated. So the different inventory that we have in Sellercloud is going to be separated in three parts. It's going to be physical, reserved, and aggregate quantity. The physical inventory represents the inventory that is currently sitting in your warehouse. So the physical inventory includes any inventory that was received through purchase orders, inventory adjustments, or setting physical inventory through bulk upload file or doing it manually on the item itself. The reserve inventory is an inventory that is still sitting in your warehouse, but it's reserved for orders, inventory transfers, FBA shipments, WFA shipments, which are not shipped yet. So, which means the orders are created in Sellercloud, but the order is still not shipped yet to the customer. So, once these orders, transfers, and shipments are shipped, the inventory is getting removed from the physical, and we are releasing the reserve. So, the aggregate quantity represents the physical inventory minus all of the reserves that you have for that SKUs. The inventory that we always send to the channels is the aggregate quantity. So let's take the example. On Friday afternoon, I have 10 units of SKU A sitting in my warehouse. And at this point, I don't have any unshipped orders, any pending FBA or WFS shipments. If someone places an order at 10 p.m. on Friday, what is going to happen to our inventory is going to be the following. The physical will still remain as 10. The reserve quantity will be 1, and the aggregate quantity will become 9. So on Monday, when I ship that order, what will happen is the physical inventory will be reduced, so it will be 9. The reserve will be released, so it will be 0, and the aggregate quantity will remain as 9. The inventory by warehouse summary report gives a great view of all of the inventory around our warehouses. Here we can see the current physical, reserved, and aggregate quantity per warehouse. Something really cool that we can do here is we can run this report using our as per date filter, which will give us the view of the inventory that we have in the past for a specific date in the past. So let's say, for example, I want to see what were my inventory levels last week on Friday. I can use the as per date filter, and it's going to give me that data here. Before I touch on the detail reporting, most of our reports, if not all of them, are available through schedule tasks. So you can have them auto emailed to you using the schedule task, and you can mail it you can export an Excel file and export it to any email that you're going to need. Here is a quick example, how it can be configured. You can set up the different filters that you want to use for the reporting and where you're exporting the data to. The next two inventory reports that I would like to show you today are the inventory by warehouse detail and the inventory by product detail reports. I'm sure that many of you have already seen these reports, but have you ever wondered in which cases they're useful? Okay, a client of mine had multiple warehouses, and he was trying to decide how their inventory should be distributed around the country. So the inventory by warehouse detail that you see on my left was a great option for them. It gives us a great view of all of our items that we have around the warehouses and the units that we have in each warehouse. Okay, where we are using the product detail report. The insurance company asked me to provide a list of items, quantity, and the value of my warehouses. The inventory by product detail warehouse is giving us all of that information. Here we can see each item for each warehouse and the value of the inventory there. As you can see, we have many SKUs which have zeros. So how we get rid of all of the SKUs that have just zeros, because they're making my report pretty big. So I don't want to see items with zeros there. What we are doing here, we are using one of our filters, which is don't include products with zero inventory. This is the same report, but without all of the zeros. Here on the screen, you can see like a sample of our filters that you can use on almost every report. So it's going to give you a better option to filter the data that you're looking for and have it more specific data shown on the report. Lots of people inventory is stale after 60 days. So how do I go ahead and see what is aging in my warehouse? We can use our inventory aging report. The way we calculate the age of the inventory is based on the receiving sessions of the purchase orders. So if you're setting inventory with bulk upload files, for example, we are not able to track the aging of the inventory. But if it's received through purchase orders, based on that receiving sessions, we are able to track the inventory. So based on that report, you can see what's aging in your warehouse, and you can lower the pricing or create different marketing campaigns, which will help you to sell the items before it's too late and they're not sellable. As business owner, I'm sure that you appreciate seeing a high level of where money is tied up. We're going to provide that information in the inventory value dashboard. Here we can see the current inventory value and the breakdown of the reserve quantity value, the available, and also the on-order value that we're expecting. Additionally, here we can see at the bottom the products that are tying up most capital and the items with the most value in our warehouse. One of the most common questions that I've been asked as account manager is, can we help with restocking, and how do you do that? Here's the answer: definitely yes, we can. Using our predictive purchasing tool, which use the data that we have for all of the orders coming under your account, including the data that we have for the SKUs, also taking into consideration the current inventory that you have in the warehouse, we can predict the inventory that needs to be restocked in your warehouse. Also including we can predict what needs to be sent to FBA. We have the FBA predictive purchasing tool as well, and we're doing that for WFS. Based on the sales that we have for that SKUs, we're calculating what is the expected volume of orders, and we're comparing that to what you currently have in the warehouse. So based on that, we can predict what needs to be restocked. All of the inventory reports that we just looked at are calculated at 11 p.m. every day, and we store that data for 6 months. So if you're looking for data in the past 6 months, you can do that and using the as per date filter, which will give you the date, like the data that we have on that particular date. After the 6 month, we are keeping the last day of the month inventory. So for example, if I want to look something from last year in January, we're going to have the inventory that you had there on, let's say, in 31st of January. But if I'm looking for something last week, let's say Tuesday, I want to see what were the inventory levels on Tuesday at 11 p.m. Okay, where I can track all of my incoming orders. The Manage Orders page is one of the most used pages in Sellercloud. When coming to managing incoming orders. On this page, we can use a variety of filters, and also we can customize the columns that we see on that screen, which will help us to better manage our new incoming orders and to process them in more efficient way. Another place to see the incoming orders is the order summary report. This report summarizes all of the orders per channel, including FBA orders and FBA orders that have not been created yet, which means they're still pending. When comparing that to the Manage Orders page, we are showing the FBA orders only once they're shipped. On this report here, we're including even the orders which are not shipped and they're still pending. This is one of the differences between using the order summary report and using the Manage Orders page. On the other hand, we have the order detailed report, where we can see the detailed information for all of the orders, including the not created FBA orders. There are three main things that we can get from this report that we cannot get from the Manage Orders page. Is the per channel order in totals, view the pending orders, FBA orders, and view the total sales and the profit type. And in the last column, we can see the profit, if it's actual or it's estimated profit. My office is 1,000 miles away from my warehouse. I have issue tracking of how many orders are being shipped on time or they're being late. So can you help me with that? Besides the real-time data that can be pulled from SKUstack Lens, that gives you real-time data about the operations in the warehouse, we can use our fulfillment rate dashboard. Here we can see how many of our orders in percentage were shipped on time, which were shipped earlier, and which of them were shipped with a delay. This is calculated based on the promise date that we have for all of the orders. I know that my warehouse is doing great job, so they're shipping most of the orders on time and even earlier, as we saw in the previous slide. I have the feeling that many of my orders recently are getting cancelled. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I feel that the orders are getting cancelled. A month ago, a client of mine reached out to me. He has received lower quantity items in the warehouse, which the warehouse crew has supposed to recognize, but they missed that. So he reached out to me as account manager and say, hey, I have the feeling that in the last couple of weeks, I have a lot of cancelled orders. Would you mind checking and see if there's any, you can find any reason for that? So what I did was I opened the fill rate dashboard and I looked at the bottom where we see the top cancelled items. So I sent this list to the customer and I said if these items are familiar to him, so they recognize these items, and he said that 60 days ago they received a new purchase order from a new vendor. So they went back to the warehouse, checked the inventory, checked the products inside of the boxes. Most of them were damaged. So this is something that has supposed to be seen like when the inventory is received, but it was missed. So here is how the fill rate dashboard give us another solution for that. I know that my orders are shipped, but were they actually delivered, and what is the status of my tracking numbers? So how do I detect problems before the customers does? I would like to see what is the movement of my orders, and based on the tracking number that we have for the shipped orders, we have the delivery status. Additionally, if I'm filtering, if let's say I want to see only orders which are still in transit or orders which are not delivered yet, we can use the delivery status filter, and we can use by each of these statuses of the delivery. Client asked me how they can make sure that they did not miss fulfilling an order. Let's say the warehouse is pretty busy, and I want to make sure that all of the warehouses, all of the orders are getting shipped. So how I can make sure I don't have any pending orders? Here we are using a save view, which includes a couple of filters. So we have orders older than 3 days, and which are currently still in process and they're unshipped. So we are exporting that via schedule task using to Excel sheet, and based on that we can see if we have any orders which needs to be shipped as soon as possible, since probably they're already late. The warehouse manager wants to confirm at the end of the day that all of the orders were picked and we haven't left anything unpicked or partially picked. So how do I go that? It's again using a schedule task, and we're going to be exporting the data based on the filters that we have here, we're looking for orders which are on pick list, they're partially or not picked at all, and the order status is still processing. So once we can have that exported, let's say at the end of the day, we can have it exported every 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever works for the warehouse manager. Usually most of the clients are doing that at the end of the day. So if there's a left order, they just go and pick it. I'm going to give another example where you can use the manage orders page, and let's say I have oversized items in my warehouse which needs specific attention from the warehouse manager. So I know that I have a product group with all of these items. I have created that in Sellercloud, and I have combined all of these items in product group in Sellercloud. So what we're doing here, we are looking for any order which contains items from this product group. Once we have the list of the orders, again, we're exporting through schedule tasks, sending it to the warehouse manager saying, hey, these are the orders which contains the items from that group. Please make sure everything is smooth there. Another example is I have a client of mine who was using our back order workflow. So based on the data that we have on this screen, they were creating their purchase orders. So what we're doing is we're checking for any order which is currently unshipped and it has back order quantity on it. Based on that, we're exporting all of the inventory that we need and the back, because let's say for example I have an item which I received an order for 10 units, but I have 5 units in my warehouse, so I need to order another 5. In Sellercloud, on the Manage Orders page, we are showing the back order quantity for each item. So using our mapping profile, we are exporting that, and we are exporting just the back order quantity. So based on that data, they are creating a purchase order at the end of the day for all of the items that needs to be restocked as soon as possible. We have a variety of filters for when coming to back order. We can use only orders which have only back order, if they have combined, or both of them. Another place to manage the unfulfillable items is on our unfulfillable products page. Here we can see all of the items that currently has order reserves that needs to be shipped, and we don't have enough inventory to fulfill all of these items. Again, this can be automatically exported every day. Okay, Chris, I have thousands of items in my warehouse, but which are the items which are actually making me most money? Like, which are my top performers? We have 2 options for that. The first option for that is the sales dashboard. Here we can see all of our sales, and in the bottom left corner you can see our top performing items. But as you can see here, we see only 5 items. Okay, but let's say, Chris, I have thousands of items. I don't think that just 5 items are making me money, so I guess there are more. The other option to see all of the items that are making you more money is quantity sold by product. What we are doing here, we are sorting the SKUs by quantity sold. So in this way, we can see our best performers, but we can see our worst performers as well. The quantity sold by channel summary is a great option if you're starting new marketing campaigns. Let's say you want to invest in marketing campaigns, but you don't know where to start. Let's say I'm selling on 10 channels, so I want to direct my budget to a particular channel. So this is where we are expecting most of our sales. So quantity sold by channel summary gives us the view of all of the orders that we have per the channel, and based on this report, I can see, okay, I see that most of my orders are coming from Shopify. Let's put the biggest part of our marketing budget to Shopify, and then use split the rest of the budget to the rest of the channels. Sold by channel detail, it's doing similar to the summary one that we looked before that, but here we can see more detailed information of the sales that we made. For example, the product type that we are selling, if most of the orders were single unit orders or they were like multi-unit orders. Based on that, we can again use that data for marketing and let's say upselling. Quantity sold by warehouse, why is that needed and where we can use that? As probably many of you know that we have the auto-assign ship from warehouse. Many of our clients are using the auto-assign ship from warehouse based on the zip code of the ship to address. So based on this report, they're able to see on which part of the country they're making most of their sales. So we can make sure the inventory, which is the warehouse that we have in this part of the country, we need to restock or send more inventory there. I'm part of the sales team, so I can let you go without upselling first. Except of all of the reporting that we saw here today, we have database access, which is coming with a dedicated server, which will give you the opportunity to build your own queries and read the data from the database. So which will give you more freedom of creating your own custom reports and the way that you need them to be calculated. If you're not that experienced with database, of course we can do a custom report for you, which is again something that we offer. So we can do the custom report based on the data that you need, all of the columns that you need there, and the formula that you need to be calculated and be just customized by you. I want to thank you all for attending here. I hope that these reports are gonna be useful in your everyday managing. So if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to the support team or your account managers for further questions. Thank you.